Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're diving into a university thesis from 2013. And trust me, it's not as dry as it sounds. We're going to uncover a really cool story about how one student's project helped pull a company out of a total paperwork nightmare, one package at a time.
You know that feeling, right? That little bit of anxiety when you're waiting for something to arrive. You're hitting refresh on the tracking page over and over again. But just imagine for a second, what if there was no tracking page?
This quote, right from the thesis, well, it just says everything. For one Courier company, this wasn't just a minor headache for their customers. No, this was their day-to-day reality. It was pure, unfiltered chaos, and it was seriously hurting their business.
The company at the heart of all this was the Hobshield Courier and Logistics Express. And back in 2013, their entire operation was run on paper. I mean, just think about that for a second. Every single booking, every update, every time a package moved, it all meant somebody had to write it down, make a phone call, or maybe lose another piece of paper in a giant filing cabinet.
So let's really dig into this paper problem. Just how bad was this package tracking nightmare?
So what you're looking at here is something called an Ishikawa or a fishbone diagram, and it's pulled straight from the thesis. It's such a cool way to visualize a problem. You see that main issue in the middle? Overwhelmed paperwork? And then all these bones branching off show how that one single problem was causing a total cascade of failures in every part of the business.
But you know, all that chaos, it actually created an opportunity. It was a huge challenge, and one that was picked up by a pretty ambitious final-year university student.
And that student was Faisal Ali Muhammad. He took on this real-world mess for his final year project. His goal wasn't just to write a paper about it. Nope, he set out to actually design and build a working online tracking system from scratch, specifically for this company.
So yeah, this was way more than just trying to get a good grade. The mission here was to take that absolute nightmare of paper and transform it into a secure, reliable, and user-friendly digital system. It's a classic story of tech bringing order to chaos.
Okay, so let's check out the blueprint. When you're staring down a problem this massive, how do you even begin to build something to fix it?
The method he chose was prototyping. Now, the idea behind this is actually really simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. Instead of trying to build the whole system all at once, which is super risky, you build a basic, working version, a prototype, and you show it to the client as fast as you can.
And this cycle here shows it perfectly. First, you figure out the basic needs. Then, you build a quick and dirty model. Step 3, and this is the important one. You get the client to play with it and tell you what they think. And then you refine it and do it all over again. This whole loop is what makes sure you end up building what people actually need, not what you think they need.
But wait, before you can even design the first button, you have to ask a super critical question. Who's going to be using this thing? And, maybe more importantly, how comfortable are they with technology?
The research turned up something really important. It turns out that over half the potential users, a full 54%, were already experienced internet users. Only a tiny slice of the pie, just 13%, were total beginners.
So why is that a big deal? Well, this data was basically a green light. It told the designer, hey, you don't have to dumb this down. He could build a more powerful, more capable system because he knew his audience could handle it. It's a perfect example of why you have to know your user before you write a single line of code.
Okay, so the plan is in place. The user is understood. Now it's time for the fun part. It was time to actually bring this system to life, to go from drawings and ideas to a real working product.
And it all starts right here with a clean, organized database. This is a peek at the back end using a tool called phpMyAdmin. You can just think of this as the new digital filing cabinet. All that paper chaos? It's gone, replaced by these neat, logical tables for things like admins, parcels, and customer questions.
Next up, you absolutely need a secure front door. That meant setting up logins for the administrators. It's a basic step, but it's fundamental for making sure only the right people can get in and manage the whole operation.
And this screen right here is really the heart of the whole solution. With a simple form like this, any employee could instantly update a package's status, its location, its delivery estimate, all in real time. Something that used to take phone calls and digging through paper files now just takes a few clicks. Amazing. I mean, this before and after chart just says it all, doesn't it? The change is just staggering. You go from paper files to a central database, from slow manual updates to real-time tracking, from lost info to secure records. This wasn't just a small improvement, it was a complete revolution for how they did business.
Okay, so it's a great story, but you might be wondering, why should we care about a university project from over a decade ago? What's the takeaway for us today?
Because this project is such a perfect case study in principles that never get old. It reminds us that the best technology isn't about flashy features. It's about solving a real problem for real people. It shows that following a smart, methodical process works. And most of all, it hammers home that you have to understand your user. It's the ultimate story of smart design bringing clarity from total chaos.
When you really think about it, this thesis is more than just some old college paper. It's like a digital time capsule. It gives us a perfect snapshot of what the web was like in the early 2010s, and it shows us the fundamental building blocks, the simple databases, the server-side code, the focus on the user, that still power the incredibly complex apps that we all take for granted today.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to chew on. In our world of one-click ordering and instant global tracking on our phones, what lessons can we still learn by looking back at the blueprints of our digital past? What are the fundamentals that we might be in danger of forgetting?